choose to not be first?
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Andrew McCart, IFL TV. I'm here in Manchester and I'm delighted to be joined by Mikaela. Mikaela, this is your third fight in a row. It's going to be your third fight in a row here in the UK. I'm going to ask the most important question. How's your English accent?
It's not very good. It's not very good.
That's better than mine.
Worse. It's getting worse, yeah. No, I'm going to stick to my Valley Girl accent.
Listen, and we can understand you better anyway. Yeah, you've got a good fight this Saturday night on the Smith Eubank undercard against Bortot. Now, obviously, an unknown opponent. Sometimes it's hard to find tape and all that. So, what do you know of her?
Yeah, I didn't know much about her until Top Rank presented me with her name. But she's not a boxer mover. She likes to come forward, dig to the body. So it'll be an action-packed fight, which everyone knows I love. I love that type of fight. But I don't want to get caught up in banging on the inside. I really want to box. I know I'm going up in weight, so I've been working a lot on my boxing, my slickness, using my height and reach again. And that's how I started boxing. But for a while, especially since the Hamadouche fight, I like being on the inside. I like being in the pocket. But I've been really working on my boxing, my outside boxing. So I plan to stick to that. I'll always go inside and dig into that pocket a little bit here and there. I think that's what makes me an exciting fighter. But I just plan on boxing circles around her.
Like I said, it's going to be your third fight in a row. So obviously the UK fans you're now almost a household name when it comes to the boxing world here in the UK. Do you plan on staying here, or do you plan on going back to the US, or what's the further plans for you?
Both. I do. Without giving you guys too much information, I do have plans to fight out here more in the recent fights next after this. Yes, I'll be fighting out here. But I want to go back to the U.S. obviously too. I think a lot of my next big fights are against girls from this side of the pond, and I still don't have the ball in my court since I'm beltless right now. But we have a plan of attack, and hopefully once we put that plan into motion, I'll be champion again, and then we'll decide where to go from there. But I don't mind fighting out here. I love the fans out here. I know there's some big fights for me. I feel like I'm embraced when I come here. I feel the love when I come here from everybody. So,
You mentioned there you're moving up in weight now. Obviously, there's Caroline Dubois down at lightweight, but we do have the names. If you look at the two ladies up there on that poster, that's Chantelle Cameron and Katie Taylor, that you're in and around that weight. Now, Chantelle Cameron is the undisputed champion at the weight you're going to be fighting at right now. Yeah. When you mentioned there that I'll be fighting here, we've got a plan of attack. Is Chantelle Cameron in your plans, or Katie Taylor?
Chantelle Cameron's definitely at the top of my list. I know she has a rematch with Katie Taylor, so that puts maybe our fight, or in my eyes, hopefully a fight for me that I would love to have sometime next year. I'd love to fight Chantelle. She's mentioned moving up to 147, so I keep saying that I think 147 is the next big division for us women. That's where all the women are going. As far as Katie Taylor goes, it's sad to say that I may never, step in the ring with her, and I've always dreamed of doing that. I always felt like that was a fight that was going to happen. But, she's got 2 rematch clauses in place, and I can't sit around and wait, in my prime, and I want to get the big fights done. But lucky for me, there's a handful of other great fights for me. Chantelle's one of them, Tasha Jonas, Sandy Ryan. I mean, there's a ton of big fights that I want to get done.
Well, that's it, and obviously what you just said there, I'm guessing that you're going towards Chantelle Cameron in this rematch again?
I do. I think that Chantelle will get the win again. Katie's always been so good at making adjustments. She really has. But I just don't know if she'll be able to make enough adjustments to beat someone who is as relentless and aggressive as Chantelle. So if I had to put money on it, I'm gonna give the rematch to Chantelle again.
You mentioned obviously all the women are going to be at 147. Do you feel like you're going to be comfortable at 147 because you are a taller lady, you're a slender lady? Do you feel like you can get to 147, or is 140 going to be your sort of limit, or can you do the 147?
No, I'm already going to 147. Yeah. I'm already going to 147 after this fight. So, I'm starting camp around 160. I'm up there. I know that for me, what's most important now is moving up in a smart way, because I've been holding my body back for a long time by trying to stay at 130. You know, I've been holding myself back from building that muscle and that strength. So I have the height, I have the height and I have the size. And now it's really important for me to do the proper strength training and put on that size in a smart way. So I've been working on that, but it takes time, This last camp, 3-4 months, I've been really working on it, but like I said, I've been fighting at 130 my entire career, 15 years of trying to stay slim and small. So there's a disadvantage there, but I know that, and I'm concentrating on building that strength so I can be competitive at 147.
I mean, the amount that you mentioned, the amount of women that are going up at 147, it's exciting times. I mean, you look at the women nowadays. There's you, Chantelle, Cameron, Kate Taylor's still there. She's not going anywhere. There's Terry Harper, who's one division above as well. So there's so many girls. You mentioned Sandy Ryan as well. There's still the girls out in the US and McCaskill and all that as well. So, I mean, right now women's boxing's on fire. So how much does that fire burn in your belly to become a 2-weight world champion, to become a champion again? How much does that fire burn inside you?
Oh yeah, it's been burning inside me. It's been rough. This last year has been a lot slower pace than what I'm used to, but that's what I had to do. This fight on Saturday night, this is the option I was given on my way back to the top, and so I'm just biting down right now, grinding, staying in the gym, working hard. Like back in the day, waiting for my opportunity, but I know it'll come. I still feel like I'm in my prime. I still feel like I have a ton to show the world, especially coming up in weight and feeling more comfortable here. So. It is a really exciting time, and I want to be where all the women are, and that's going to be at 147.
Right, I'll be remiss of me not to ask you the question. Obviously, you faced somebody that was a close fight. You feel like you won in the Alycia Baumgardner fight. Now, there's been recent news of her failing the drugs test. I just want, obviously, being a former opponent, and you have chased that rematch before. What was your thoughts when you heard the news?
I mean, obviously, we were all shocked. It was a big disappointment. But, that's on her now to clear her name. I'm not thinking about Alycia Baumgardner anymore. So, she's come a long way in the last couple of years. So I hope she can clear her name, because it's not a good look, but it's also not my problem anymore. I'm moving on, and she can deal with that.
I mean, when you look at the drugs inside boxing as well, I mean, Robert Helenius just failed with the Joshua. How big a problem do you feel it is in this sport? I mean, you're in there, you get punched in the face for a living. It's dangerous enough without putting drugs in your system. So how big a problem is this in the sport of boxing? It's
a big problem. We got to do something. It's got to start with more testing. More testing, because, the science these days, these drugs these days, they can be in and out of your system so fast, and there's no other way to get around it except strict protocol and strict testing. And also strict repercussions, not more than just a slap on the wrist, right? Like, you have to be afraid of what you put in your body. You have to be afraid that, you're going to get caught and your career is going to be over. Like, there has to be some fear instilled. But yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that. They're going to have to figure out a way so that it's even across the board and just stricter protocol.
I want to take a hard segue right here, or left. Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields are signed with the PFL for an MMA fight. Now, that came out of the blue. I don't know if you've got any interest in an MMA fight, but your thoughts when you heard that?
It's wild. I mean, I'm not surprised. Those women are badasses and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but I get it. There's probably a lot of money there. They already fought in boxing. Now they're going to take it over to the PFL and fight there. So, I mean, I'm all for it. Do your thing. Get your money. Do your thing. Like, put on for the women and combat sports all around.
Would you go MMA?
No.
One final one for me then, Mikaela. Obviously, first time fighting in Manchester, the MEN Arena, a famous arena. All the greats have fought there, and Ricky Hatton and whatnot. So what can the fans in the arena, on Sky Sports box office, what can we all expect from Mikaela Mayer on Saturday night?
Regardless, I feel like I always leave everything in the ring. I always put on a good fight, a competitive fight. I let my hands go. So you're definitely going to be entertained no matter what. Make sure you tune in, ESPN Plus in America, or right here on pay-per-view in the UK.
Mikaela, thank
and
you
also, you have to wear my fight color, which is turquoise.
Me?
But also everyone.
Everyone.
If you're Team Mikaela, show your support. Show up in turquoise. This is teal, but I'll accept a variety of colors.
I think I've got a turquoise t-shirt in my bag, you know that?
Perfect. There you go.
Well, there you go. I'm Team Mikaela. Listen, Mikaela, thank you so much. It's a pleasure. No doubt I'll see you all the rest of the fight week. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their girlfriends. Right, the bouncer's gulping.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.